Wow, does time fly when you're having fun here on the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. Time now for our final thoughts. I give both of these guys a minute to talk about whatever in the sports world they'd like to. Rod, we'll kick it off with you, bud. Go.
On National Signing Day, Cass Tech's Mike Weber made some headlines by choosing Ohio State over Michigan. Who even does that? Only to find out the next day that the Buckeyes assistant coach that had recruited him all along the way was leaving for the NFL. So Weber was bound by his national letter of intent and had to stay with the national champions. Like most high school seniors, he had the three hats on the table, and he was just trying to make a statement. But the recruit who made a bigger statement was Georgia's Roquan Smith, who made a potential game-changing move on signing day. The number 2 linebacker in the country announced on ESPN that he was going to UCLA. But when the assistant coach there decided to leave, Smith held the trump card because he didn't actually sign his letter of intent. He decommitted from UCLA, and on Friday he decided to go to Georgia and signed financial aid paperwork instead of the letter of intent. By choosing that route, he smartly kept his options open and provided the lead block in what could be a trend to turn the tide in recruits' favor instead of the schools.
Very good point. That's a dangerous subject for a lot of those kids, so thanks for bringing that up. All right, Joe, you're up.
I want to change mine. I just want to follow you up. Get rid of signing day, and I'm done. No. All right. Things looked a lot different for Michigan State basketball 1 week ago, fresh off a home loss to Illinois and facing games at Northwestern and against Ohio State that were far from safe bets. 2 wins later, things look much better for the Spartans, but on Saturday, I think they sounded better more than anything. I contend last Saturday's Breslin Center crowd for the 59-54 loss to Illinois was the worst I've encountered for a significant game in the Tom Izzo era, and I've been in that building for all but a few of those games. Maybe it's because the fans had higher expectations this year, or because this team has been so hard to watch at times, including at the foul line. Maybe a noon start on a Saturday is asking a bit much of these students. Maybe millennials are to blame for everything that goes wrong.
Leave us alone.
But on Saturday, against Ohio State, another nooner, by the way, the Breslin crowd was vintage, the best of the season, and a clear case of a home crowd lifting a home team to a higher level of play. Maybe it was the sight of Ohio State, a game between the Big Ten's 2 most accomplished programs of the past decade. Maybe it was the fact that MSU was having a reunion weekend or Valentine's Day, or the realization that this team needs every possible edge it can get. Maybe the kids aren't so bad after all.
Oh, thanks, Joe. You saved the millennials by.
I forgot you're a millennial.
Oh, no, thanks. Thanks about that. All right, it's my turn now. This week I'll be heading to spring training. Hope springs eternal, or so they say. To steal a line from Tom Izzo, the Tigers, though, are fat and sassy. 4 straight division titles, but what have they to show for it besides those titles? I need to see some passion and drive that you see from these teams that do get over the hump, like the Kansas City team last year and the Giants who eventually won it all. I'm looking for that this week at spring training as it gets underway. Pitchers and catchers are on Thursday. All right, next week, like I said, guys, I'll be down in spring training. Tom Lydon will be in to host the Suburban Ford Sports Cave next week. So thanks so much for being here, guys. Any parting shots you have for you?
Bring back some sunshine. We need it.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's what? It's like 3 degrees outside. You're complaining about that?
-3.
-3?
You're an old millennial. Okay?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so think of it that way.
Thanks, Joe. I'm glad you're still thinking about it, you know, like if I'm still a millennial, Generation Y or not.
The generational battles will never stop.
It was a great crowd. I definitely agree with that
was.
for that game, and hopefully Michigan State can find some road success. All right, thanks so much for joining us on the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. Be sure to tune in next week. As I said, Tom Lydon will be here hosting the show, and I will be down all week long with the Tigers in spring training. Have yourself a great week. There you go.